Okay, all right, that looks good. All right, good morning, guys. Again, walking to the train station with my wonderful morning stream, as I'm going to go and do another session with Ephraim, whose YouTube channel is Paul University. He's come over from San Francisco. It's always nice for me when I have international dating coaches, or just any coach in general, just come forward wanting to do filming with me in a hilarious way. It's also a bit of a rite of passage, just because of how long I've been working behind the scenes in the dating industry, and how many know me, and they all know me by my stage name, my business name, Kemmerden. Not to be confused with this YouTube channel, that Danxiety guy. But yeah, it's always nice when I have coaches who, they want to film in fields with me, and they want to build their businesses and their brand and stuff, and I'm the one who can do that. But I was going to do a video originally talking about mortality, because I've been thinking about it lately, especially after with working with Johnny's sort of old friends and clients, and even just got me thinking about stuff even because of my birthday. But I thought, no, I'm going to save that much darker and deeper topic for another day. And as I left the house, and as I was walking, I thought, wow, it's actually a really, really nice day today. And even reflecting on how the last week has been, it has been wonderful, the weather. Absolutely wonderful, the weather. So I thought I would instead talk about how this is really the best time to be practicing your social skills. That if you're finding that you are incredibly socially anxious, and maybe you're spending these sunny days indoors and you're not going out to speak to people in public, I want to try and maybe encourage you to reconsider that. That maybe, whilst the weather is nice, whilst it is nice and sunny, take the opportunity, whilst everyone is in a much happier and more friendlier mood, because let's face it, in London, when the weather is awful, people really are a little bit more moody. People don't really want to talk to each other. They would rather complain about the weather and say how cold and wet or rainy or freezing it is, whatever, and no one then really wants to talk. So I've been, of course, filming with Ephraim. We've now done about a week out of the 4 weeks together, and the weather sort of started off a little bit bad, because I think it rained on my birthday, so I think it rained on like the 2nd of September, and a bit of the 3rd as well. But now that the weather has been absolutely great since then, there has been so many people out, so many very attractive people out, that I've just thought, like, wow, okay, right, I need to, even for myself, I need to be getting back out and cold approaching people. That's the only thing though, when I'm filming, when I'm working a lot, it is absolutely knackering to find that momentum, but it is still, in a way, an excuse. But then saying that, I am walking about 15 miles a day, so I think it's probably also a very fair excuse. And it does get me thinking about a consultation that I had last night, where, was it last night? No, sorry, hang on, what day is it today? It's, no, I had a consultation on Saturday night. It's what, Monday, isn't it, today? So yeah, Saturday night. I had a chat with a guy, and he was saying that, he went into McDonald's and he was buying himself a wrap, and he saw girls walking by, and he was like, oh god, I should approach, I have to approach and stuff, and he was just like, oh, I picked the wrap over chatting to girls. And I was like, dude, that is absolutely fine. You can switch off doing pickup stuff. There's no problem with that. You've got to give yourself a bit of the benefit of the doubt. Like, if you've had a long day at work and you're hungry and you're gone to get food, you don't have to approach everything. if you're not in the mood, if you just give yourself that ability to switch off. And in fact, sometimes that's a good thing, just to have a break and then come back to something. So I've essentially, I've been so busy, and it's been kind of difficult to just want to approach. You know, when you're doing like between about 10 to 15 miles a day walking, my legs are literally like jelly by the end of the day. I've just got no energy whatsoever to approach. But the weather has brought out a lot of people, and I might even have to consider approaching, just because there really is some great opportunities for people, and especially like in the mornings. In fact, just before I did this stream, I was on a phone call with a friend, and actually there was a girl that walked by, and I was like, oh, do I cancel the call and speak to her? And I could have, but then that would have also been kind of disrespectful to my friend as well. So you have to just kind of like pick your wins and losses, and be okay to let people go. That's part of having an abundant mentality with approaching. But the weather is great. People are friendly. People want to socialise, and it's why it really is a great time for you to do it as well. Ephraim had been working with a client of his over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And, you know, it was really cool to see. I always like seeing coaches working with their clients, because it gives me a better indication of where they're at with coaching and looking after people. And his client, he did pretty good. It was nice to see him doing his approaches and getting results, or at least having interactions. And it just showed, even with his sort of like skill, from what I gather, he was still very much at the start of his journey. He still got phone numbers. He still had some confidence. He still had developed the cojones to say to someone like, look, you're really attractive. Or like, you know what, I'd love to take you out sometime. So, you know, any guy can do it. Any guy can approach, even if you're unsociable and you're uncalibrated, or you don't know what to do or say. Everyone can approach, and you'll find though, and this is maybe where, like, you know, doing this is a numbers game, but you will find though that at some point you'll meet a girl who actually just likes you for you, and she has the respect for you that you found or mustered the courage to say something to her. Now, one of the things I like giving guys is this concept of like the 12 seconds of courage, that when you go and approach someone, just literally just say how you feel. Say what's on your mind in the moment, and be honest about it. Not rude or anything, but just being honest and saying like, you know what, you would have regretted not saying hello to her, or you know what, she did pass you and you didn't want to go by with your day without at least just telling her how great that she looked. You know, that kind of authenticity and honesty and sincerity really does go a long way with people. And you also find that you have a much deeper connection with people as well. Oh, I thought the Royal Mail van was going to run this guy over. So anyone can go out and approach. Anyone. But it takes a real courageous guy to get out the house and speak to a stranger, and be okay with whatever the conversation looks like. And you know, I think even rejection is just too strong of a word. You're not really being rejected. It's more just the moment, just the way in how you're interacting that's being rejected. You as a person, like you could be the most amazing, charitable person in the world, but if you're stop, or if your interaction you're nervous, she's not going to see that. She's not going to hear about all the amazing things that you've done in your life. All she's going to be aware of is just how you are nervous in that moment. So that's only going to get you so far. But now really is the best time though to at least practice. And even something to consider is like, it's not about how you look now in your interactions, it's how you'll look in months to come. So why not prep yourself? Even if it's a slow progression, even if you just, you're having like a little interaction here and there, it builds up your confidence over time. So don't think about how much you suck right now. Think about like, okay, if I put the practice in for 3 months to 6 months, where could I be? Or even a month, even a couple of weeks or a couple of days, where could I be? And that's what you need to think about when you're building confidence. When you start a new job, you're nervous. You don't know how to do everything. You don't know where the departments are. You probably wouldn't even know how to use a coffee machine, but you keep going back. You don't just go, oh, this job is really hard, so I'm not gonna speak to people. No, you put yourself out there. You're gonna carry on asking questions. You're going to learn. You're going to get more confident with your workplace. Driving a car, you don't just get in a car and stall and then go, no, bugger this, I'm not going to learn to drive. No, you start the engine again, you figure stuff out, and eventually you go into this autopilot as you figure out where your hands and feet need to be to actually drive that car. So just think about that. If you start now, where you could be towards the end of the year, or where you could be next year. So I've still got my birthday offer going on. I'm still doing the offer of £1,000 for 7 days of coaching, and that's in October. I'm going to kind of keep it to October only for the moment, but that's in October. So if you're interested in taking action, you want to take some responsibility for your dating life or just social life, and you'd like to start getting that progression going, don't sit at home in this sunny weather. Get yourself out of the house, start speaking to people. And if you can't do it on your own, I'd love to be here to help you. I really enjoy just seeing people's development, and I've worked with guys at all different levels and all different social skills. Some of my favourite ones have been like where I've had a guy who struggled holding eye contact with people, and for the whole week we worked on getting comfortable holding eye contact with strangers to the point that he was then able to give compliments by the end of the week. And it might sound silly, but again, everyone's at different levels. I think it's too easy to say, oh well, yeah, if you do this coaching, then you're going to get to a point where squeeze through cars. So if you end up getting to a point where that was me being a bit cheeky there going through the cars, but yeah, if you end up if you're when you're watching all these videos on YouTube of coaches, the thing you have to understand is like they have done this so much, they've got to a point where they are confident with it. They've had more time than you will probably ever have to practice. They don't have a normal job like what you have, so they can just practically live on the street like a bit of a homeless person, and and really work on this area of their life. So they don't always understand that you won't have that same sort of like dedication and practice to getting good with meeting women or making friends. But it really is consistency that matters, and the more consistent you are, the better you will get and faster in time. So if you're interested in help, I'd love to be the one to help you. If not, no worries, there are plenty of other coaches out there, but I'd like to think that I specifically help people with accelerating their confidence through cold approaching. I love the real beginners. I love the guys who've got those struggles, and as long as you're willing to at least just try, that's all I ask. It's very difficult if I try and push you into things and you don't want to do it. And I can kind of work with some stuff, but you've got to be willing to at least try and fail. And I promise I will be there every step of the way. I have huge admirations for guys who at the very least get themselves out of the house and turn up to coaching, because even that is one of the most hardest things that anyone can do. So we'll leave it there. If you're interested in my coaching, have a look on my website, book a consultation, and if you want the nice big juicy discount that I'm offering for coaching because of my birthday that happened last week on the 2nd of September, then by all means message me and say that you want the birthday offer, that you want the 7-day coaching for £1,000. And of course, we'll have a chat. I'll make sure that we are both right for each other, that I'm right for you, you're right for me. And if all's good, we will go ahead. But right, I am now at the train station, so I will speak to you guys soon.